My father made his little speech like he always did, loud enough for the room, sharp enough to cut me even from across the table. He raised his glass and bragged about how his boys carried the family name with pride, pretending not to see me standing right there. Everyone laughed along with him, people clapping like they were part of some inside joke. I felt myself fading into the background again, the kid who spent years holding together the pieces of his business, but never got so much as a thank you. Warm lights shimmered above the banquet room, casting a soft glow on his carefully curated image, the beloved patriarch, the successful businessman, the man who never made a mistake. My brothers hovered around him like satellites, soaking in the praise that should have never belonged solely to them. And then something inside me snapped quietly, like a thread finally reaching its limit. I stood, heels clicking across the polished floor, every step pushing through the roar of applause. I handed him a small gift box, deep navy paper, gold string, simple but deliberate. A little something from the one you underestimated, I said with a smile that felt steadier than my heartbeat. Then I turned and left before the box even hit his hands, knowing that when he opened it later, the truth inside would do exactly what it needed to. I used to think my father walked on water. When I was a kid, I'd curl up on the carpet of his study and listen to him talk about markets and mergers like they were fairy tales only grown-ups could understand. He tossed gadgets and toys to my brothers, but he handed me a notebook and told me to take real lessons. Back then, I thought it meant he believed in me. Later, I realized it meant he never thought I'd be anything but a quiet shadow in the corner. I learned to pay attention to the way he charmed partners, manipulated numbers, and stretched the truth like taffy. He called it strategy. I called it survival training. When I graduated at the top of my program, he didn't bother showing up, claiming something urgent came up. Yet somehow he found the time and the money to bail out my brothers when they burned through funding on a half-baked business idea. The disappointment wasn't a single blow. It was a slow erosion. When I finally joined his company, thinking it was my moment, he tucked me into a meaningless position that sounded impressive until the reality hit. One late night, while closing out reports in his office, I found a document that spelled out his plan to slowly push me out. That discovery didn't break me, it clarified things. I started watching him more closely, paying attention to the cracks he thought no one could see. Sketchy accounts, quiet transfers, numbers that didn't add up. He assumed everyone was too loyal or too clueless to question him. He was wrong. I followed every thread until I had the whole twisted knot mapped out. Then, little by little, I made sure the right eye saw the right pieces. So when his big retirement celebration rolled around, I already knew it was really the beginning of his unraveling. The flash drive in that box held everything he tried to bury, along with a message reminding him exactly who he dismissed. By the time he played it, I was already watching from a distance as panic washed across his face. The fallout was fast, public, loud, and irreversible. Headlines, frozen assets, investigators knocking. He tried calling me over and over, but I let every call ring out. People ask whether I feel guilty, but guilt belongs to people who were loved before they lost it. I was never in that category. I didn't destroy him out of spite. I just made sure the scales finally balanced. Now the company wears my name on the front door. His office sits empty. His reputation? Dust, and me? I sleep just fine. Some call it revenge. I call it reclaiming what was already mine. If this story made you feel something, drop a like. Comment I choose myself if you believe in self-worth over validation. Hit subscribe for more stories that remind you how powerful you really are.